good day everyone. My name is Darlena Birch, MBA, RDN, and most importantly, public health dietitian. Welcome to my kitchen, aka Darlena's Kitchen, where I discuss the science behind nutrition, 1, because I'm a dietitian, and 2, because I was forced into a chemistry minor. But who's bitter? Not me. All views expressed on this channel are my own and do not represent the opinions of any entity with which I have been, am now, or will be affiliated. For my next few episodes, I'm going to pay specific attention to vitamins and minerals so that you, the viewer, can understand why these individual nutrients are so vital for human health. So let's talk about vitamin K. Vitamin K is a substance that our body needs in order to form clots and to stop bleeding. We get vitamin K from the food we eat. Some vitamin K is also made by the good bacteria that live in our intestines. Babies are born with very small amounts of vitamin K stored in their bodies, which can lead to serious bleeding problems if they're not supplemented. Now, vitamin K is actually the generic term for a family of compounds with a common chemical structure of 2-methyl-1,4-naphthoquinone, and is a fat-soluble vitamin that is naturally present in some foods and is available as a dietary supplement. These compounds include filoquinone, also known as vitamin K1, and a series of menaquinones, also known as vitamin K2. Filoquinone is present primarily in green leafy vegetables and is the main dietary form of vitamin K. Menaquinones, which are predominantly of bacterial origin, are present in modest amounts in various animal-based and fermented foods. Almost all menaquinones, in particular the long-chain menaquinones, are produced by bacteria in the human gut. Vitamin K functions as a coenzyme for vitamin K-dependent carboxylase, an enzyme required for the synthesis of proteins involved in hemostasis and bone metabolism, and other diverse physiological functions. Prothrombin, also known as clotting factor 2, is a vitamin K-dependent protein in plasma that is directly involved in blood clotting. Warfarin, also known as coumadin, and some anticoagulants used primarily in Europe antagonize the activity of vitamin K and, in turn, prothrombin. For this reason, individuals who are taking these anticoagulants need to maintain consistent vitamin K intakes. Food sources of filoquinone include vegetables, especially green leafy vegetables, vegetable oils, and some fruits. Meat, dairy foods, and eggs contain low levels of filoquinone, but modest amounts of menaquinones. Natto, a traditional Japanese food made from fermented soybeans, has high amounts of menaquinones. Other fermented foods, such as cheese, also contain menaquinones. However, the forms and amounts of vitamin K in these foods likely vary depending on the bacterial strains used to make the foods and their fermentation conditions. The most common sources of vitamin K in the U.S. diet are spinach, broccoli, iceberg lettuce, and fats and oils, particularly soybean and canola. Few foods are fortified with vitamin K. Breakfast cereals are not typically fortified with vitamin K, although some meal replacement shakes and bars are. So now that I've talked about vitamin K and where you can find it in your diet, I'm now going to talk about vitamin K deficiency. Overt vitamin K deficiency results in impaired blood clotting, usually demonstrated by laboratory tests that measure clotting time. Symptoms include easy bruising and bleeding that may be manifested as nosebleeds, bleeding gums, blood in urine, blood in the stool, tarry black stools, or extremely heavy menstrual bleeding. In infants, vitamin K deficiency may result in life-threatening bleeding within the skull. In adults, vitamin K deficiency is uncommon for a number of reasons. 1, vitamin K is widespread in foods. 2, the vitamin K cycle conserves vitamin K. And 3, bacteria that normally inhabit the large intestines synthesize menaquinones, although it is unclear whether significant amounts are absorbed and utilized. Adults at risk of vitamin K deficiency include those taking vitamin K antagonists and individuals with significant liver damage or disease. Additionally, individuals with fat malabsorption disorders, including inflammatory bowel disease and cystic fibrosis, may be at increased risk of vitamin K deficiency. Newborn babies who are exclusively breastfed are at increased risk of vitamin K deficiency because human milk is relatively low in vitamin K compared to formula. Newborn infants in general also have low levels of vitamin K for the following reasons. 1, vitamin K transport across the placental barrier is limited. 2, liver storage of vitamin K is very low. 3, the vitamin K cycle may not be fully functional in newborns, especially premature infants. And 4, the vitamin K content of breast milk is low. Infants whose mothers are on anticonvulsant medications to prevent seizures are also at risk for vitamin K deficiency. Vitamin K deficiency in newborns may result in a bleeding disorder called vitamin K deficiency bleeding, abbreviated Bkdb. Because Bkdb is life-threatening and easily prevented, the American Academy of Pediatrics and a number of similar international organizations recommend that an intramuscular dose of filoquinone be administered to all newborns. This is also known as the vitamin K shot. So what is vitamin K deficiency bleeding? Vitamin K deficiency bleeding occurs when babies cannot stop bleeding because their blood does not have enough vitamin K to form a clot. This bleeding can occur anywhere inside or outside of the body, and when the bleeding occurs inside the body, it can be very difficult to notice. Commonly, a baby with Bkdb will bleed into his or her intestines or into the brain, which can lead to brain damage and even death. Infants who do not receive the vitamin K shot can develop Bkdb at any time up until 6 months of age. There are 3 types of Bkdb based on the age of the baby when the bleeding problem starts. They are early, classical, and late. Now, as you can see on the whiteboard, I've thrown up a chart that shows the recommended vitamin K intake for individuals across all life stages and genders. Thank you for joining me today. If you like what you see, please smash the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And remember, you are your own best advocate. Feed your body well, nourish your soul, nurture your mind, and nutrify your spirit. Remain true to yourself and never forget that every second forward is another opportunity to be a better version of your past self.